Well, it's Kyle and Troy. Ah, there I am. Working on hand cycle bike training. How fun is that? So I think it's Kyle's favorite thing is training for the
Hand
hand
cycle bike is fun. Training for it, harder.
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 Well, here we are. We're doing, in the hand cycle bike, you have obviously upper body working tremendously hard.
Well, and of course there are variations on bicycles for adaptive athletes because I'm a hip disc articulation. Legs not involved. Although I'm trying to figure out how I can still pedal with one leg. Haven't got that figured out yet. So everything's upper body. So the workout is going to be primarily upper body.
Upper body.
And
So we're starting out with a chest fly, and we're using tubing on most of these exercises today.
Variation on a thing. Of course, this can be done with dumbbells, cable cross machine, Nautilus type machines, but
Today, tubing.
Today's tubing day.
And or exercise bands or bungees or whatever you want to call them. So this is working the pecs, right, and the front of the shoulders, and then we go immediately after doing that and reaching fatigue to bench press, basically tubing chest press. Now on both the
Now
flies,
you gotta tell them why we're going from one chest workout to another.
oh, this is called pre-exhaustion exercise. So we wear out the chest with a single joint exercise, the chest fly, and then immediately follow it up with a chest press, which is a multi-joint exercise. So you get the
Shoulder and elbow, multi-joint.
multi-joint, and you get the tricep to come in and help out the chest. Well, it couldn't help in the other one, but
Right.
yeah, so you get
So you're
extra assistance.
Single because we're primarily basically all pecs, all chest. Then
The
that's
shoulder
nice and
being the
tired.
joint.
So now, boom, going to working up harder and bringing in assistive muscles like the tricep. And you'll feel this. I'm already feeling it.
And again, I don't know if you've heard this story or not, but as I speak all the time, 4 seconds out, 4 seconds back, you're trying to push with as much strength as you have until you get to a point that you can't do another properly performed repetition.
And one of Troy's keys that old school, we would go all the way back here, but now that we're older, we want to protect that shoulder, especially adaptive athletes. We're using the rotator cuff, we're using the shoulder. So it's only to about there.
Yeah. So the elbows even with the body, and try to keep the elbows as close to the body as you can. So don't let them wing out to the
You can
side.
tell when you're getting tired. You start
That's
you know,
right.
be in poor form. So having a trainer remind you, get that form.
Well, the good news is we're done with this one. So then we're going to switch over, and we're going to go with reverse fly, tubing reverse fly. And this is actually a pretty significant weight for the tubing reverse fly.
And of course,
straight arms.
yep, you can get further back or put more resistance on the tubing. So there's a lot of variations. And
You can go with a lighter tube.
remember, colors don't necessarily match the resistance. Different,
I've never done this before.
different 40 years experience. Different brands, this might be the red one, but you can tell by the diameter of the tubing, or you can definitely tell
So
that
just
there's
stay
less
there.
resistance.
Don't go back.
Okay.
Don't go back. So you're going to keep your arms straight, and then you're going to pull them behind you this way.
See, I'm trying to roll already.
He's all excited. He's ahead of the game. So straight arms, and then you just pull it as far behind you as you can. And you know what, though, while you're demonstrating that, keep the arms down and back. So they go as far behind you as you can.
When you get tired, you start cheating.
You start going up, exactly. But as he was saying about the tubing, every company uses whatever color they want. So you can't transfer from whatever company this is to another company and think that the red's going to be equal weight. It doesn't work like that.
Well, the tubing, I refer to them bungee cords for some reason, easy to travel with. And a lot of adaptive athletes, we go to tournaments for our sports. So you're traveling. So you can take the bungees with you.
Light and
tubing.
easy.
Yeah. And tie it to a doorknob, make sure the door doesn't open into you. The leg of the bed frame, something like that. You can find ways to work out wherever you go. And these things, all you need is a couple different ones.
So we're trying to isolate with a single joint exercise, as we just talked about,
You don't want this.
the reverse deltoid or the rear deltoid, right?
Yep.
So then you go to a multi-joint exercise with the row.
Which is what I was trying to do.
He was eager, he was excited.
And if you want me to sing, it ain't gonna happen. But you could sing "Row, Row, Row Your Boat." You know,
I guess they could all sing.
they could.
So rowing, you want to pull those elbows as far behind you as you can on this one, because it does not hurt that rotator. It's only going to strengthen it. So it's a different exercise than the chest press.
And Troy always talks about when you get it back here, pause for a second and pinch those shoulder blades.
Squeeze the shoulder blades together and down. Together and down.
And when you're going forward, don't rest. Don't do the cheating thing. And don't start.
Ooh, yeah, don't use that back. Stay up as straight as you can. And actually, you guys can see out there just like I can. He doesn't feel it, though. He's leaning back. So you have to lean forward, fella.
See, I'm cheating.
Right there. There you go. Now, it'll feel to you when you do this exercise like you're actually leaning forward. But if you have somebody watching you, as you guys were watching him, he's now straight up.
And you can get into bad habits.
You absolutely can.
This feels right to me. But having a trainer like Troy with his knowledge, you can always learn. You can always I have found that you cannot train yourself as hard as a knowledgeable trainer can train you. They're going to watch your form. They're going to watch your technique. They're going to remind you how to do things properly. And they're going to make you do a few more repetitions and really get fatigued.
So now we did the pre-exhaustion for that rear delt, and then we brought the row in to push it a little bit harder and challenge it a little bit more. The biceps and the lats are helping those rear delts work even harder. So then we move on with relatively no rest to a overhead tricep. So you're going to reach behind you, grab that tube.
And these can be done, with dumbbells on different machines. But since we're traveling today is Traveling Tuesday, Traveling Tube Day.
Traveling Tube Day.
Tube Day.
So on this one, you want to make sure you keep that elbow up as high as you can.
And of course, if you grab further up, more resistance, makes you work harder. Different color tubing, but
see how that elbow wants to drop down?
Yeah.
You want to keep the elbow is pointed towards the ceiling as much as you can. Then it doesn't hit you in the ear. He's like, I don't want to move it back there.
There we go. I had too much resistance on it. I was trying to work too hard.
And there's a valid point, right? The shorter that tube is, the harder it's going to be.
And you're going to start cheating.
Yeah, the more tube you have available, the easier it is. So you've got your overhead tricep working the back of the arm. There's a million tricep exercises.
When you do the other one, you want to be
Obviously,
equal.
do the other one for sure. Then we're going on to bicep curl.
She's got me sweating already. Holy cow. And biceps, you can do standing. No, okay, I could. But
You could,
I
for
could.
sure you could.
Yeah.
Or you can do it sitting down.
If you want to see me wobbling all over
And
the
if
place.
you know me, I like to sit down. So I would sit down.
And of course, sitting down, then I am
Challenges you
isolating
differently.
just on the bicep. And just trying to get the right amount of resistance here. So, and of course, if you're really talented, with the right bungee, you could be doing both arms at the same time. And the same thing with the dumbbell, that you want the range of motion to the point where it's stretched out, but not to the point where it's resting. So you don't want to go there. So, and you can tell I haven't done a lot of bicep curls with tubing. So, how's the form look?
Looks good.
And of course, like I said, if you got the right bungee, you can be doing both at the same time.
Yeah, and you might have to wrap this around your foot twice. You might have to just grab the tube itself. There you go.
Variations on a theme.
To make it tighter, and then you can get them both done at the same time, which is awesome because it cuts your workout time in half. So how about that? If you want to get out of here, there you go. Then you're on to a little wrist curl, reverse wrist curl.
Of course, with
And,
the hand cycle bike, all up here, but there's an awful lot of wrist and forearm. These can be done with the tubing on a cable cross machine, with the rolling.
We can do the roller,
but
yeah.
if you do that, don't do it up here, that's shoulder. If you're truly focusing, get down here. So with this, you can
Oh,
isolate.
I brought this one for that one.
Oh my gosh, he gets the heavier weight. Oh, see, he's gonna take it easy on me. We're gonna start with the reverse. So we're working.
Which isn't easy. You need a light weight for this one. Maybe I went a little light because it is Kyle, but I'm just trying to demonstrate that you don't need a lot of weight on this.
He's just working all the wrist extenders, the back part here.
Everything on, in this case, on top, right?
Yep, everything on top.
And then twist that around.
Yeah,
Get a much heavier weight. You need a much heavier weight for this one.
Well, if you're training with Troy, you get a much heavier weight.
It's true.
So, and now you're doing the wrist flexors. So this part. And don't forget that this is part of any good workout for different sports. Wheelchair softball, this would be good. Wheelchair lacrosse. Anything where you're using your forearm and wrist. But on the hand cycle bike, we're definitely using the wrist and the forearm. So we can add this at the end.
Well, and I'll throw in that these exercises are also awesome for everybody if you need to unscrew a jar.
Yeah.
You know, these kind of things. And
Twist the light bulb up.
whatever it is, you will be amazed at how effective. Now we're off to little shoulder rotator cuff stuff. So we're on to the rotator cuff.
Okay, now this is new for me because with me, with the rotator cuff, the way I've been training, either cable cross or dumbbells.
So
So,
if we attach it over here, face the camera.
hello camera. See, that's why you have a trainer. He's done this before. So, and there again, how much resistance you have, you know, the resistance in the bungee. So, and right now, just internal rotation and elbow in tight, and Troy always decides to make it harder and more efficient and better for him. So you can put a little pad in here, pillow,
A towel roll
studded.
and a jacket, whatever. It's the goal on this is to hold that elbow tight to the body. And if you don't have something in there that'll force you to, you know, squeeze the elbow in, you tend to raise it up. You just do, or forward too. You'll pull it forward as you're pulling it across.
Trying to isolate just up here in the rotator. So internal rotation.
And then stay right there where you are, and just hold this one.
Yeah.
There you go.
40 years of experience from him. And we should probably center me more.
Am I not good?
Because I lost a leg, now I'm losing an arm.
What?
Jeez.
Can't have that.
No. And my backstroke, I'd be like swimming in circles.
That would be weird.
I already drift a little bit with just
too.
one leg. It's
You
really
make
tough
it.
in the lake when you're swimming on the lake. I always have to look up and make sure I'm not.
So what are you working here, Kyle?
External rotation.
There you go.
Rotator cuff. I'm working my mouth too. But
Good stuff. Good stuff. And the same thing with the pad there, or the pillow, or the whatever it is.
And of course, if you had a lighter resistance bungee, you could do both at the same time. But
That's actually
Yeah.
pretty heavy.
you do what makes you focus on that muscle. And then internal and external, or excuse me, shoulder flexion and shoulder extension are the rotator cuff. So, what do you think, boss?
You can attach it across there and just push it behind you this way. Face the forward.
And then shoulder flexion, you're going this way.
And then, of course, to do the other one, we would have to face away.
And
Well,
of
we do
course-
the other arm for sure.
And
Yeah,
of course, if you had the right bungee, you
Yeah,
could do both
there you
at the
go.
same time. So you can isolate, or as Troy said, do both arms at the same time, cut down the workout time. So now you took that 20-minute workout down to 14 or 15 minutes. Couple 3 days a week. Helps your backstroke.
Nothing to it. Now flip around for the one you love.
Yeah, my flipping.
I got
I'm calling it spinning because I ain't flipping. I could flip with 2 legs.
And this is actually a pretty. Whoa.
Yeah.
Lifting that up, right? There you go.
So, yep. Now,
There it is.
extension. And of course, you can, however you can get the tubing to feel right in your hands. Can be done laying down if you can tie the bungee or the tubing off right. Can be done on a cable cross, dumbbells, but always working. Okay, now Troy, we talked about the bigger muscle groups going to fatigue.
Right?
Now with the rotator cuff, we don't necessarily have to go to fatigue, correct?
Correct, yes. We want to just take this, dare I say, easy. You're kind of just trying to get 10 or 12 reps in. Just get them done. Use good form, still slow, controlled, full range of motion. Prehab exercises are not
Prehab, not rehab after surgery. We want to do prehab so we don't have the injuries. Prevent you. Yeah.
Now, we're going to leave this here, and you're just going to lay on your back, and we're going to do some crunching. So we're going to show you
how to work the core.
How to advance this crunch and make it a little bit harder by adding that tubing. And again, you can.
Great. Now I'm getting a cramp in my hamstring.
Oh no! And then it's just a little crunch. But again, your goal is not to raise the head up. The goal is to bring the sternum to the belly button. I say that like we just talked about this. We didn't just talk about this. The sternum to the belly button, sternum to the belly button, sternum to the belly button. So it's not up, it's down. So you're just crunching down. It's a tiny little motion, and then that tube doesn't hit you in the face, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
No.
No.
Just short range of motion. You keep the muscles tight. You don't want to rust.
Now, I'll throw in a bonus. This is a bonus. So crunch up to the middle, hold it there. Now what you want to do is just side bend. There, just a tiny little side bend.
And
so
of course,
it's not the
twist.
twist.
Yeah. And on all of these, you're keeping your head back. You don't want this.
Don't need that.
Don't need that.
Sure.
We're working the abs, not the head and the neck.
This is just a bonus. It's not even part of the whole program.
Kind of like a side bend, alternate crunch, working
Yes,
those obliques.
exactly.
Which
Right.
you think you're not going to use when your hands cycle bike, but we tend to
You do.
lean when we turn.
You need that whole midsection strong. Absolutely
Definitely
strong.
strong.
Then,
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. Then we've got what we call the anterior reach.
Yeah, now, this is a big time balance exercise for me.
Huge.
So,
Huge balance. But you've got that right there. Perfect. How are we doing on the, there we go, camera, yeah.
now, it's been a while since I did these. So,
Yeah, so if he falls down, it's because he hasn't been practicing.
bad. We don't want to fall. So,
And you definitely want to have something to hold on to regardless of your situation because it is tough. Now raise the arm up a little bit so the arm doesn't move at the shoulder at all, right? You're gonna lean forward, but you're not moving the arm.
And this is a little bit abdominal work, but also lower back. And we've got the little Jedi Master touch. You know, I'm not gripping onto it, and a physical therapist teach me that as an amputee, we tend to maintain our balance just by having something to touch. So, and of course, if you have a second leg, you go the other way. And I actually can do it. Just, I want to work the other arm, just flip around. So,
And it's interesting because this is actually a lower back exercise. It's hamstring, glutes, low back. So switching the arm doesn't seem like it's that big a deal, but it actually is. It's pulling you totally different.
well, the back muscles are separate. You got some on one side and some on the other.
Yeah, yep.
And you need
But it would seem like, well, that's dumb. You're
yeah.
still just bending straight over.
And your
But by
glutes-
having the opposite arm up and overhead, and of course, if you happen to have both legs, you would actually extend. I don't even know if I want to try this. Can you?
And of course,
They can't even see.
you could do this with wearing a prosthesis. If you're in a bum knee,
You
below
could?
knee, even a hip disarticulation, you can wear the prosthesis.
Let me see. Can I get in here? Hold on.
Put the left arm.
Hold on a second.
No, we got to do the left
So
arm.
then you're going to extend.
Wait, how can
just
you
like
raise-
that.
How can you raise your leg? How do you do that?
What do you mean?
Yeah, see, if you got legs, you can raise leg. Yeah,
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So they can see how that's done.
How a person with legs can do it.
But even though I didn't go very far. See how far he's going? But I was just sort of demonstrating. But what I didn't have was anything the Jedi Master touch.
You could have grabbed my shoulder.
I could have grabbed your
'Cause I am
shoulder.
the Jedi Master.
And then you will get all the way over. That's a good thing.
Now, show them the way to do it if you have, say, an above or below knee amputation.
Sure, if you
show
have-
them how to do it with two legs versus me. So hop in here and show
See,
them.
I don't.
And hop in here and do the appropriate one if you have the balance. I got you.
So we're here,
Yeah.
and then you just extend forward, and it's just that light touch. Woo! Almost fell. But it's that light touch of him not holding me up, but just gives you that psychological. And then, of course, the other side, which I wasn't ready for that one.
Yeah. See, even as an able-bodied,
It's
or
hard.
wearing a prosthesis, you want to have your balance. With
You got to
your
have
Jedi
something
Master
to touch. The thing is that this is what everyone does. They do this. You don't want that. You want to lean forward, no shoulder movement. And with the leg, they just kick the leg back. You don't want that. You actually want the body moving.
And believe it or not, even as a hip disarticulation, I can feel that on the right side and the right glutes. It almost feels like my leg is there if you do it properly. And the key is the entire workout. Do it safe, do it effectively. We're training for a reason. This is for the hand cycle bike. A lot of upper body, abdominals, back, hamstrings. But it's the training, we train hard now to make the riding easier. Whether you're riding competitively in a race or just for fun, this training, a couple days a week, 3 days a week, 15 to 20 minutes a day, makes it easier to ride. Bottom line.
Beautiful.
What's the phrase, Troy?
Yeah, get strong, stay fit.
Hey, leave us questions, leave us comments. Ask if you got a different way to train, let us know. We can always learn from you. I'm a hip disarticulation, different disabilities. We can learn how you train, which makes us smarter. We're here to try to show you some ideas on how to train. Today, training to use the hand cycle bike. There's other variations, which will come to different sports, different techniques. Anything else from you, boss?
That's all I got. Just train hard, train smart, and don't make it about volume in your strength training. Strength training and volume don't have to go hand in hand.
Keep
Make
it
short.
simple.
Yep.
Silly.
All right.
You know, it's KISS principle, man. You're training for a reason. You're training to make your sport better. You're also training for your own personal safety. You know, I mean, training with Troy, the core, it's easier for me to wear my prosthesis. I feel more comfortable using my crutches. I'm more safe in life. So we're training for the hand cycle bike, but this is great for anybody, like Troy mentioned. This helps you live longer, live healthier, live more fun. That's what it's all about.
There you go. Well, we'll come back or just click onto the next video and learn more. We're
Or
here to
teach
help.
us more.
Or
So,
teach us more. Yes. Comment,
Appreciate
share,
you.
like,
Thank
have
you.
fun.